You know, boys, sometimes weakness overtakes me, and then I think maybe, just maybe, we are a little bit too mean and not thoughtful of these poor game journalists. And then I read titles like this: Elder Scrolls Wannabe, Tainted Grail, The Fall of Avalon gets a huge, air quotes by the way, update, overhauling its a weaker third act with new locations, quests, enemies, and more. And then I'm instantaneously, no, we're actually not mean enough to these people. We're not judgmental enough. These people deserve no love, no nothing. I hate them, and everyone should also. My god, what an absolute disgusting title. And obviously, it's from PC Gamer. Where else? The website that claims that Diablo 4 is better than Path of Exile. The drip is better. The skills are cooler. Oh my god. Well, PC Gamer does one thing right, and that's rage baiting, I have to admit. Because I think that's the only thing they do nowadays. They are really good at looking at what people like and then saying, oh, this is actually bad. I swear. I'm pretty sure, I think I saw it, I opened it, and I lost it, but I'm pretty sure they're also currently trying to claim that Slay the Spire 2 is a bad game or something like that. Or along those lines. My god, these people deserve nothing. And it's by Rick Lians. And I looked at Rick's other work, and I mean, he seems to really like Bloodlines too. And I have to, this is 100% by the way a PC Gamer thing. No one likes Bloodlines too. It's an absolute disaster that died in, what was it, 12 hours? And its player count collapsed to literally nothing? Bloodlines 2 was one of the biggest disasters of this year. Cooked in the oven for 10 years or something. And my god, it was a disaster. It was an absolute disaster. The millennial writing, the wokeness, the everything. And this person likes it. Obviously they do. And then and I was surprised, but I did not find anything from Rick Lance and PC Gamer about Avowed. But here, when it's Eurogamer, after 3 hours, Avowed still shows no signs of a killer hook to call its own, but this fizzy RPG cocktail is plenty enjoyable at the same time. Obviously, Avowed's not the best thing ever, but you should still play it. This is literally a Mr. Maddie review, but game journalist style. Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. And the funny part is, again, this is a PC Gamer thing. It has to be. PC Gamer just does rage bait at this point. Because this is the same person, and this was previously their opinion about the Elder Scrolls Online game that isn't Elder Scrolls Online game is getting a big patch in February and DLC. So, relatively a good overview, a good opinion. But now it's huge. What's wrong with these people? They're so fake. They're so unlikable. And then they wonder, why does everyone hate us? Wow, surprising. Why would everyone hate you? If this is the level of hypocrisy that you are gonna do. I mean, this is the worst grifting I have seen. And I'm on YouTube. I have seen grifters from the left, from the right, from the everywhere. Inconsistencies and opinions that create fucking black holes of stupidity. Man. Pathetic. Pathetic. And again, by the way, this is March 7th. March 7th! 3 days ago. And the positive was from, well, the 31st of January 2026. So there has been a time, but I mean, that's a lot of time to that's not that much time to change your opinion. But in any case, let's read the article a little bit, enjoy ourselves, as one might say. And then read a little bit of, the comments. As you probably already know, I am a huge fan of Tainted Grail, The Fall of Avalon. Absolutely love the game. Multiple playthroughs. Should probably do a No Game Plus run at some point. But, I mean, I played a stealth melee character, which is the hardest and reasonable thing that you ever do in your life. So, there are some questions about that. But I can pretty much run up to most most enemies and be in their face, and some of them are not gonna even see me. In any case, last month, the developers of Tainted Grail: The Fall of Avalon revealed that its impressive Elder Scrolls-inspired RPG received a major update in March, one that gave its weakest final act a lick of paint. And this is true, by the way. Act 3 is by far the weakest. Act 3 roleplay wise, there are some pretty neat elements. They do throw some curveballs in your face with the doing this is what they want me to do, right? But if you pay attention, you can tell that helping them do this thing is not actually going to get them on your side. It's going to be actually bad. And there are some moments like that are pretty neat, I guess. But overall, the Act 3 is by far the weakest, I agree. Act 1, second, is pretty good. There's a lot of interesting stuff. There's a lot of cool things. Act 2 is by far the strongest, I would honestly say. There's a lot of NPCs, there's a lot of stuff. It's interesting. It's way cooler than Act 1, honestly. But Act 3 is by far the weakest, that's true. So, new quests, new this, new that, would be highly appreciated, highly liked, and highly anticipated and sought after, okay? And I don't think making Act 3 would actually be, to be very interesting that hard, because you just need to add more decisions that you can make with each tribe, because all of the fucking savage retard tribes seem kind of the same, effectively, except the God of the Hunt ones. That seems different. That's kind of wild, okay? So it would be nice if all the other tribes seemed a little bit different. Would be nice. But in any case, the fact that Tainted Grail is even updating itself is very nice. They released the expansion, the underwater expansion, which is very cool and whatnot. If you like Skyrim, I have always said people should try out Tainted Grail. I am a massive Tainted Grail fan again. The game can be hard, the game can be easy, depending on how you play it and how good are you. There's going to be a lot of situations where you're like, if I do this, I'm going to die. And not a lot of games actually have this suspense any longer. Not a lot of games have this, if I go doing this, I will definitely die. Like, when at night you find the weird night actually finally starts chasing you and you're like, oh, shit. Oh my god, I'm not killing this, I'm dying. And, you need to escape and things like that. It's very cool. I absolutely adore it and love it. But all is clear now. If only because the deluxe is already on... The deluxe is already on the walls. Patch 1.20 for Tainted Grail arrived early this week. I haven't actually played it at all, so I don't know what's happening there. I have seen the trailer. There is a trailer here. It just talks about, a lot of stuff being added, weapon rebalances and things like that. It shows Duelist Rapier being nerfed. I think it's getting nerfed at least. But if you have the old Duelist Rapier, it's not going to get nerfed. You can keep it as a legacy item, which is very cool. And Duelist Rapier is literally fucking ridiculous because it's 15% more damage against single targets when you're fighting a single target, aka every boss. It's 25% crit chance, which is insane for a weapon, and it's 50% more crit damage. Duelist Rapier, and I think you found it in Act 2. Yeah, I think you found it in Act 2. Is insane, obviously. Described as huge by Questline. Tainted Grail arrives earlier this week. Described as huge by Questline, the update seeks to improve the final act in numerous ways, while also making changes to the game at large. Just, again, a lot of gameplay balance, things and whatnot. Tainted Grail, the studio behind it, has been doing a great job, honestly, with updates. It is very clear that Tainted Grail is doing good. Actually... SteamDB, Tainted, Grail, The Fall of Avalon. Let's look at the SteamDB real quick here, okay, lads? So, here it is. Sharing the screen so you can see it. Look at this. Yeah, only 2K players currently in, and 86.4% people. Wowie woo! That is a lot. That is a lot. The game has been out for a year now. It released to 225.6K people, which is not the highest, but I think they had officially sold 2 million copies or something like that, and this game costs $40. And needless to say, they have made their money. And this was the release of the expansion, I think, somewhere here. And the expansion looked very cool, obviously. A whole new skill tree, a lot of things. Again, Tainted Grail is a very good game. And it does have one weakness. It doesn't have the size of Skyrim, so they need to do a lot of tricks to make it seem good. And there is a weakness in that. But all in all, again, if you like Skyrim, Tainted Grail, The Fall of Avalon, mwah! Perfect. At the start, when it released, everyone's talking about how many bugs it had, and that is true. Even though I did not play it at the start, there were a lot of issues with it. And even when I was playing it, there were issues. There were some issues that FPS just fucking crashed out of nowhere and things like that. But all in all, the experience was, even at that point, really good. And, well, what can I say honestly? Look at this. A decent drop. It took it literally took 2 months to drop 75%, but Tainted Grail is a single player game, so it's fucking worth it. Also, there's mod support, by the way, so the future of Tainted Grail seems to be really good. And Awakened Realms, the company behind this, also it seems like there's gonna be stuff. They also have this Lamau, though. I cannot tell you to buy that. Not really, but still. Okay. The additions to Tainted Grail Third Act include a new area to explore. That's big, especially a cave called Aether Bloom Love. Plus 2 new mini bosses. One of these sleepwalker. One of these sleepwalker is sort of a giant tree person with a hole in his lower torso. Yes. We could see that in this trailer right here. We're not gonna watch the trailer, or maybe just an incredible large knot. The other is Chirnguard, a tall, mask wielding warrior. What the fuck? Warrior trying to pummel you into submission with his fists if you get too close. Very cool, very nice. So, yeah, I don't know why the hell do you need to be such a loser to make a headline like this huge? The Elder Scrolls wannabe. Bro. Tainted Grail is doing good. It was doing good. And, it's doing better. People are not forgetting about it. People are talking good about it. 83% positive. Go tell Marathon that. Anyway, 10 out of 10. Go play Tainted Grail if you haven't. Very good game. Highly recommend. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.